I want to start the base for my almond baklava. This is so simple to make. I cannot wait to show you. All you're going to do is take whole almonds and you're going to pop these into a food processor. Now, if you don't have a food processor, you can use a blender. That would be fine. And then into this, I'm going to put a little bit of sugar and just a pinch of salt, then some allspice, and finally some cinnamon. And then you're just going to pop the top right on here. Now, if you don't have a food processor, you can use a mixer. That's fine. Lock this in. I love this machine. Okay, woo, take that off. Now, let this sit here for just a second. That's about the consistency you want right there. Now I want to make you a great honey glaze. It's going to go over my baklava. So simple. You can use honey or you can use maple syrup. Whatever you have will be fine. And all I'm going to do is put in here 2/3 of a cup into a heat-proof measuring cup. Okay, and then to this I'm going to add a little bit of orange juice. Gives great flavor. About 1/3 of a cup of orange juice. Then I want in here 1/3 of a cup of water. Now just stir this together. Now I'm going to pop this right into the microwave for just a minute. And what that's going to do is allow all this honey to melt and everything is going to be combined together perfectly. Welcome back. I'm Sandra Lee and I've made dessert, which is baklava. This is so simple to do. I can't wait to share my recipe with you, but I want to take this out and put it right over here to cool. And I'm going to show you how simple and easy this is. I already have ground up in here some whole almonds, a little bit of cinnamon, some allspice and sugar. And this is going to be the nut base of your baklava. Now I've also just melted some butter. You need plenty of butter for this. So I'm going to put this right into a bowl. Lots of butter with this. It's going to be delicious. Okay, and then also in here, I've already heated up honey with a little bit of orange juice and a little bit of water. That's all you need. This is going to be the glaze that goes over the top. And this is cooled. It needs to be cooled before you use it. Now, I'm going to set this off to the side. You need a little baking dish like this one, rectangular pan. And this is the phyllo dough that I have left over. Now, with this, all you want to do is you want to take a knife, flatten this out, and I want you to take this right down the center and work with your knife a little bit and make sure you cut them in half. It's okay if it tears just a little bit like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, what I want to do, the first trick, and this is a layered dessert, so it's a process. It takes a lot of time, but it is so fabulous and worth all the work. Now, take your butter, and I want you to base this baking dish generously with the butter all the way up the sides. This is very important. Now, what I want to do is I want to also pour the nuts into the bowl. Woo! Let me place this right here. All right. Now, with your phyllo dough, take 2 sheets at a time and lay this into the bottom of your baking dish. Then you are going to base this with the butter. So what you're doing is you're building 4 different layers with nuts in between, which are going to be 10 sheets thick. And then in between these layers, you're going to put a cup of the almond mixture. Then you're going to put on your second layer. Same thing, 5 layers thick. Take this and just brush it. And the last layer of my phyllo. This is going to create the topping. So you want to be careful with the top so it's perfect, just like that. And we're also going to put the butter on this. And the last layer is the same 10 pieces of phyllo, 2 at a time, buttered together. Now before you bake this, you're going to cut it. And you're going to cut it in 3 sections and then 1 time across. And then you're going to cut your individual pieces. So you want to go all the way to the bottom. Here. And then this way. And then you're gonna cut the individual pieces. Now you could cut them in squares if you want little tiny ones like to put in the freezer. But for this batch, I'm gonna make nice big dessert sized pieces. And there we go. Now this is gonna go into the oven on 350 degrees for about 50 minutes, maybe an hour. Keep an eye on it. Okay, pop this in here. I like to put the rack lower so that it's not so far up on the heating element. 50 minutes. Now, I have one cooling right over here. And on top of this, what you need to put, this is 2/3 of a cup of honey, 1/3 of a cup of orange juice, and 1/3 of a cup of water that I put in the microwave a little earlier. I heated it up. Now it's been cooled. Everything is fused together. And what you want to do is pour this right over the top. This looks awesome. So make sure you get all of that wonderful honey mixture on the top. Now this needs to set aside for 8 hours. You can cover it with plastic, anything that you like, and then this is what you're gonna get. A beautiful dessert that I cannot wait to taste. Now I am going to have one of these for me. When I come back, I'm gonna show you how to make a great almond amaretto cocktail that you're gonna like. So good. I'll see you in a second.